This is a murder case that actually dates back to early April. A man found dead inside his apartment here in Northwest with one of his thumbs missing.
This is the story of Fasil Teklemariam, age 53, a married man and also a sugar daddy, who was killed by her sugar baby and her accomplice in his apartment, so they could have access to all his bank account and steal all the electronics in his apartment. Fasil, even though married, just wanted a sexy and younger lady who could make him feel good whenever he wanted, was shocked when his sugar baby, Tiffany, made an attempt on his life, eventually stabbing him to death. The story gets crazy when Tiffany Taylor Gray, age 22, the sugar baby in question, returns to the apartment days after he was killed to slice off his thumb so she can use it to access his Cash App on his phone whenever she feels like transferring funds from his bank accounts to herself. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
We are talking about this story tonight. It's on our website. I've shared it on my Facebook page. It's a story you have to see. But first you need to hear about this. So it's sort of part Lifetime Channel murder mystery, part Ripley's Believe It or Not.
That's a good combo.
Yeah.
So get this, a middle-aged man described as a sugar daddy. He was found murdered in a bedroom in D.C. So two young women, they are charged with a crime according to police. And detectives, they're searching for that dead man's missing thumb.
This story takes us to Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States of America. Sees a fair amount of crime. As of July 11, 2024, there have been 94 homicides in D.C., which is a decrease from the same time period of 2023. Fasil Teklemariam, age 53, was an engineer by profession. He was an immigrant from Ethiopia. He worked at Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority. Fasil was happily married with kids.
We made you cart. Me too. That's Macquarie's and this one's mine. Okay, you want to read yours first, Macquarie? Sure. Okay. Thank you for all you have given me, Dad. I love you so much. And I hope you live longer than any person in the world.
He was described as a soft, nice and easygoing guy. Fasil wanted more in life sexually. Fasil decided to spread his wings. Along the line, Fasil met a younger lady named Tiffany Taylor Gray, age 22. He expressed his intentions towards her. He told her that he was married but was willing to splash some money on her if she was willing to please him sexually. The deal was struck between Fasil and Tiffany. They enjoyed each other's company at the expense of Fasil's wallet. At some point, the money coming in for Tiffany was not enough, so she hatched other plans. Her plans was to find a way to get money from Fasil's bank account. Sometimes in 2023, Tiffany was able to find a way to steal $1,800 from Fasil through Cash App. Unfortunately for Tiffany, Fasil found out and he filed a complaint with the police department saying Tiffany had used his phone to send out $1,800 to herself. Fast forward to April 1, 2024, Fasil had Tiffany come over to the apartment as usual, but this time Tiffany needed more money and didn't want to be reported to the cops, so the plan was to get the money after Fasil was killed. She planned with her friend, Audrey Miller, age 19, to carry out the heist. In this picture, Fasil can be seen walking side by side with Tiffany into his apartment. That was on the 1st of April, the last time anyone ever saw him alive. While inside, Tiffany called her friend, and when she arrived, they hit Fasil on the head and also stabbed him multiple times. They were able to kill him in his apartment. After the killing, Tiffany called in some guys to come help them carry items such as electronics. Days later, Tiffany needed more cash but didn't want to keep going back to the apartment, so they hatched another plan. This time, it was for them to slice his thumb and take it with them so they don't keep coming back to the apartment. That was what they did. They sliced his thumb, took it with them, then transferred money to themselves through Cash App. Prosecutors alleged Fasil was killed on April 1st, though his body was not found inside of his bedroom until April 5th. His family tried calling him for several days, and when they could not reach him, they contacted police. Police said when they found Fasil, he had been hit on his head and stabbed multiple times. His right thumb was also gone. His thumb was never found. There was also evidence that the apartment had been scrubbed down in an attempt to remove any hint of the murder, but officers said those efforts weren't fruitful. impressions of bloody footprints and other stains were uncovered at the scene once a special ink was applied to Fasil's floor. With security cameras, police were able to see who was last at the apartment. They saw how they were trying to ship out things from the apartment. Clips of her and her male friends going into his apartment and getting things out were also seen. 3 weeks after Fasil was killed, a witness came forward to tell police that they could identify the women and knew that they had cut the decedent's finger off. This person told police that Tiffany went by an alias of Taylor Green and that Fasil was her sugar daddy. The witness claimed to have overheard something about Fasil being stabbed and further, that they overheard Tiffany describe police reports about the murder to her play brother and expressed shock that authorities found out so quickly. The same witness told police Tiffany was seen using Fasil's thumb to obtain money from his accounts and confirmed she used the funds to buy Uber rides as well as weed and alcohol. The case broke open for investigators when they also learned that Fasil had filed a police complaint just a year ago alleging Tiffany had used his cell phone to steal $1,800 through one of his cash apps.
This is a murder case that actually dates back to early April. A man found dead inside his apartment here in Northwest with one of his thumbs missing. Court documents spelling out a vicious and sordid story. Was found murdered in his third-floor bedroom at the Rolling Terrace Apartments on Peabody Street in Northwest D.C. That was on April 5th, his body covered in glass fragments. Authorities say he'd been dead for several days. Charged with first-degree murder while armed are 19-year-old Audrey Miller, arrested in Hagerstown a month ago, and 22-year-old Tiffany Taylor Gray. She was arrested July 1st in Bowie. In court filings in support of the murder charges, police submitted these surveillance images from the victim's apartment building, showing him with the green arrow and who they say is suspect Miller pointed out in red on the day of the murder. Other images capturing the suspects and at least 2 men who have not been charged in this case, often concealing their faces with masks, taking items from Teklemariam's home.
Court documents reveal that the victim called Sugar Daddy, was fatally stabbed by one of the women who they say killed him and is now charged in the woman was recently arrested, and police say she is charged in connection to that murder that happened back in April. Medical examiners say the victim, 53-year-old Fasil Teklemariam, also had a thumb removed. Now, court documents show the victim had several cuts and a stab wound through the stomach that punctured the stomach and hit the spine. On April 5th, police went to an apartment in the Brightwood on Peabody Street in Northwest, and that's where they found Teklemariam with stab wounds and a severed thumb. Investigators say one of the women arrested used his thumb to get money from his account, using the money to pay for things like Uber, weed, and alcohol. Investigators showed pictures of the suspects, 19-year-old Audrey Miller and 22-year-old Tiffany Taylor Gray. Court documents also reveal security footage that showed the suspects at the victim's building. According to court documents, witnesses say Gray referred to the victim as her sugar daddy. Gray was arrested July 1st. Miller has since been behind bars since June. Now, police say Taylor Gray is charged with first-degree murder while armed, felony murder. Now,
detectives initially tracked the suspects to this motel in Laurel. Police say the victim's stolen cell phone was traced to this location. The suspects also staying at an apartment complex in College Park. All that information, the surveillance images, and those witnesses who know the suspects and spoke to police are what helped investigators crack this case.
Tiffany, 22, a resident of Prince George's County, Maryland, was arrested on July 1st and charged with first-degree murder and armed felony murder. She is currently being detained in Maryland and is expected to be extradited to Washington, D.C., to face the charges. Audrey was also arrested on June 21st for first-degree murder and armed felony murder as well. The other men involved were arrested but were not charged. This is something that happened out of greed. We will not focus on whatever anyone did wrong in this video, but the fact that someone was killed. No one should be killed no matter the reason, being unfaithful or not. We do hope justice is served soon. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Fasil Teklemariam. Please stay guided out there, and we do hope to see you all in the next video.